So we know what a degree is, right? Like, and right angle is 90 degrees, a straight angle is 180 degrees. We know what a degree is. But what happens is we can break down a degree. We could have fractional parts of a degree, right? Can I have an angle that's like 40.5 degrees? Right? So what happens is we actually broke down the degree to multiple formats. So you have a degree, and then you could break down the degree into something smaller, which we call minutes. And then you could break down that minute into something even smaller, which we call seconds. And this is all related to fractional parts of a degree. That's what it comes down to, fractional parts of a degree. So the conversion is 1 degree will equal 60 seconds. 60 minutes, I'm sorry. And this little slash on top of that 60 represents minutes. That little slash on top of the 60 represents minutes. So 1 degree is equal to 60 minutes. And guess what? We know this. 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds. So the double slash is seconds. And we know that little circle on top is degrees. So 1 degree is equivalent to 60 minutes. 1 minute is equivalent to 60 seconds. 1 slash is for minutes, 2 slashes are for seconds. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to convert each degree into this one, degrees and minutes. So the first one's saying convert this degree into degrees and minutes. The way you do this is you're going to take the whole number. Which one is the whole number? The 87 or the half? Which one's the whole number, Edwin? 87 is the whole number. You're going to keep the whole number as it is. What's up, sweetie?
Could you just scroll up a little bit so I can finish?
Oh, sure. All right, so you keep the whole number as it is. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take the fractional part and change it into the minutes. So I'm going to take a half. Now, we could figure this out pretty easily, right? If we know if 1 degree equals 60 minutes, what do you think half a degree is going to equal? 30 minutes, exactly. If 1 degree is equal to 60 minutes, half a degree is going to equal 30 minutes. Do you think they'll always be that straightforward? No. So let me show you what you're going to do if it's not so straightforward. I'm still going to work with the half, but just to show you. So what you are going to do is always take the whole number, keep it as your degree. Then we're going to take the fractional part, and that's what we're going to change into minutes. So we know 1 degree is 60 minutes. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the fractional part and multiply it by 60. So what fractional part is this of 60? That's really what it means. And then what we do is what's really nice about multiplying fractions is you're allowed to cross simplify. So 2 goes into 60 30 times, and then we're going to get that 30 minutes. All right, what do some other students do? Some other students set up a proportion. They'll say, okay, 1 over 2 is equal to x over 60. So a half is equal to x over 60, which is perfectly fine. The only thing is you cannot cross simplify through an equal sign. The only operation you can cross simplify through is multiplication. If it's not multiplication, you cannot cross simplify. So what do we have to do here if you're setting up the proportion to solve this? Anybody remember Algebra 1? What do we do here to solve this? You can't cross simplify, but there is a cross something. What is it called? Cross multiply. Do you guys remember that? The little butterfly wings? You cross multiply the proportion. So you're going to have 2x equals 60, divide by 2, x is equal to 30. Every way we did it, we got the same answer. Do I care what you do? No, I don't care. Whichever way you prefer. Can we keep going to the next one? Okay, so now let's look at number 2. We have 60.4. keep the whole number as your degrees. What's our whole number? What's our whole number? 60. Good. Our whole number is 60. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take the fractional part and we're going to change that to minutes. But I don't want to deal with a decimal. I'm going to actually deal with a fraction. So does anybody know what 0.4 is as a fraction? What is that? PJ? Good. It's 4 over 10. But I see 4 over 10 and I think I can reduce this, right? What can we reduce 4 over 10 to? 2 over 5. All right, so now we have 2 over 5. Whoops. So now we have 2 over 5. So I'm going to say, I like the multiplication way. 2/5 of a degree, right? That's what this is saying, 2/5 of a degree. So I know of is the mathematical operation for multiplication. The word of goes with multiplication. So this is going to be 2/5 times a degree, which is 60 minutes. I'm going to cross simplify now. 5 goes into 60 12 times, and I'm left with 2 times 12, which is 24 minutes. Before we move on to the next one, I want you guys to try this one. Do 10 and 1/3 degree into degrees and minutes. Who has an answer for me? Who has an answer? Only Ethan has an answer. 1, 2, 3, 4 people have an answer. 5 people. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Olivia, what'd you get?
I got 10 degrees and 20 minutes.
How many people got that? 10 degrees in 20 minutes. Great. I got the same. Does anybody want to see me do it? We're good? Okay, great. So now let's go on to number 3. What's the problem with number 3? There is, based on how I told you to do these types of problems, what's different about this one? PJ? Good. There's no fractional part. Didn't I always say keep the whole number, change the fraction into the minutes? Right? There is no fraction this time. We can still do this. What you're going to do, we're not changing the value, we're just sort of rearranging things. I'm going to change the 90 into 89 degrees and plus 1 degree. Isn't 89 degrees plus 1 degree still 90? 89 plus 1 is 90. All right, I'm going to keep the bigger one. I'm going to keep the 89 as my degrees. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to change that 1 degree into minutes. 1 degree is how many minutes? 60. So this ends up becoming 89 degrees and 60 minutes, still equivalent to 90. All right, you all do number 4 on your own. Are we ready? 180 degrees into degrees and minutes. Somebody tell me, what did you get? 180 into degrees and minutes. Giovanni?
179 degrees and 60 minutes.
How many people got that? Perfect. Anybody need to see me do it? Okay. So now what we're going to do is convert into degrees, minutes, and seconds. We're going to follow that same process. Normally we would take the fractional part and change it, but there is no fractional part here. So we're going to take that 90 and I'm going to split it into 89 degrees plus 1 degree. So the 89 stays as my degrees. I'm going to change that 1 degree into 60 minutes. But I didn't want to just stop at minutes. What did I want? I wanted degrees, minutes, and seconds. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that 60 minutes and I'm going to change it into 59 minutes plus 1 minute. I'm going to change that. I'm going to keep that 59 as my minutes for my final answer. And guess what? I'm going to take that 1 minute and change it into 60 seconds. You got it. All right, number 6 is going to be a little bit of work. Maybe write a little small because we're going to have a lot going on. So this sort of follows what I told you to do before, right? Keep our whole number, change our fraction. How do we change the fraction? What do? We multiply it by what? How do we change the fraction? We multiply it by 60 over 1. You got it. So I'm going to take 2/9 and I'm going to multiply it by 60 over 1. I can cross simplify, but 9 doesn't go into 60. But 3 goes into 9 and 60. So I'm going to divide by 3. 3 goes into 9 3 times. 3 goes into 60 20 times. Now I'm going to multiply across. When I multiply across, I end up getting 2 times 20, which is 40. 3 times 1 is 3. Does 3 go into 40 evenly? No. So what we're going to have to do is create a mixed number. We're going to have to create the mixed number. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up my little house. 40 goes on the inside, 3 goes on the outside. 3 goes into 4 one time. 1 times 3 is 3. We subtract. 4 minus 3 is 1. Bring down the 0. 3 goes into 10 3 times. I'm running out of space here. I'm just going to write this a little bit smaller. All right, 10 minus 9 is 1. Do we all agree that's our remainder? Our remainder is 1. But how do I make this into a mixed number? It's 13 and 1 what? We put the 1 over the number on the outside, right? So this is going to be 13 and 1/3 minutes. You guys remember that? I've seen a lot of blank stares. Okay, so now what am I going to do? Guess what? I'm going to keep the whole number as my minutes. What's the whole number? 13. So that takes my minutes. And guess what I'm going to do with the 1/3? make it seconds. So how do I make 1/3 seconds? Multiply it by 60 over 1 again. You got it. This time it works out. 3 goes into 60 20 times. 1 times 20 is 20. So now we have 12 degrees, 13 minutes, and 20 seconds. Okay. The next part, was anybody still copying this? No. Okay. So now what we're going to do is going to convert to degrees only. Actually, that's not as, it doesn't take as long. So 42 degrees and 12 minutes. We're going to obviously keep our whole number, and we're going to change the minutes into the fractional part. So this 12 minutes is 12 minutes out of a total of how many minutes? 60. This is 12 minutes out of 60 minutes. So we're going to do 12 over 60 and then reduce. So I'm going to divide top and bottom by 12, and we are going to end up with 1 over 5. So we're 42 1/5 degree. You guys do number 8. Sorry. Who wants another minute? You ready? Okay, so I'm keeping the 60, and then I'm going to take 45 minutes, and that's 45 out of 60. Then what we want to do is we want to reduce this. Let's say you didn't choose the best number right away to reduce. Let's say you divided by 5 first. And if you divided by 5 first, you're going to get 9 over 12. You're not going to stop there. You're going to look at your fraction again and say, okay, well, can I simplify this more? Yeah, what goes into 9 and 12? 3. So then you divide by 3, and you're going to get 3/4. Then you're going to look at 3/4 and say, can I simplify that more? No. So that's when you're done. So it's 60 3/4 degree. All right, let's do some problems with this stuff now. All right, for number 9, it says angle ABC is a right angle, and angle ABD is represented by 67 degrees, 21 minutes, and 37 seconds. I cannot stress this enough. The most important thing you can do in geometry is label your diagram with the given information. We're going to get to the point where if you don't label it and don't label it properly, you won't be able to solve the problems. So let's go ahead and label this. It says angle ABC is a right angle. How do I label a right angle? I just make a box. We know right angle is 90 degrees, so we'll keep that in our heads. Then it says angle ABD is represented by, so I'm going to follow the letters. How do I know which angles ABD? You follow the letters. Trace it A to B to D. If you trace it, you go inside that angle that you formed. So ABD, that's this angle right in here. So this is going to be 67 degrees, 21 minutes, and 37 seconds. Now we want to find angle DBC. See how I traced it? We want to find this angle in here. That's what we want to find. Forget about the 67 degrees, 21 minutes, 37 seconds. Forget about that for a second. If ABC is 90 degrees, the big angle is 90 degrees, and let's say this top angle was 60 degrees. So if the whole angle is 90 and the top angle was 60, what would the bottom angle have to be? So the whole angle is 90, the top angle is 60. What would the bottom angle have to be? Dylan. 30. What did you do? You got it. We would subtract, right, the whole angle and then subtract from it the top angle. That's the same idea. We're going to take the whole angle, which is 90 degrees, and subtract from it 67 degrees, 21 minutes, 37 seconds. But there's a little bit of a problem here. They are not in the same format. Here I have degrees, but here I have degrees, minutes, and seconds. You cannot subtract things or add things that are not in the same format. So now we want to make them into the same format. And the easier way to do this is to change the 90 into degrees, minutes, and seconds. The easiest way to do this is to change the 90 into degrees, minutes, and seconds. So we had some practice with that. So I'm going to change 90 degrees into degrees, minutes, and seconds. Remember what we had done. We're going to take that 90 and I'm going to split it into 89 degrees plus 1 degree. And then we're going to keep that 89. Then what am I going to do? Who remembers what am I going to do? I'm going to change that 1 degree into what? You got it. So we know 1 degree is 60 seconds. But we're going to take that 60 seconds, not degrees, 60 seconds. We're going to take that 60 seconds, minutes, sorry, the 60 minutes. What's wrong with me? We're going to take that 60 minutes and we're going to change it into 59 degrees plus 59 minutes plus 1 minute. Sorry if I'm confusing you. We're going to keep the 59 minutes. And then I'm going to take the 1 minute and do what with it? No, it is 60 seconds. We're going to take the 1 minute and change it to 60 seconds. Okay, so now back to our problem. We now have 89 degrees, 59 minutes, 60 seconds, and we're going to subtract from that 67 degrees, 21 minutes, and 37 seconds. And then we subtract. So I'm going 7. We can't take 7 away from 0, so I'll borrow here. This becomes a 5. This becomes a 10. 10 minus 7 is 3. 5 minus 3 is 2. So we get 23 seconds. 9 minus 1 is 8. 5 minus 2 is 3. So we're at 38 minutes. 9 minus 7 is 2. 8 minus 6 is 2. So we are 22 degrees, 38 minutes, and 23 seconds. So I'm going to write this out. Angle DBC is equal to 22 degrees, 38 minutes, 23 seconds is our final answer. PJ?
Would you write that out?
No, so we wouldn't write M because when you put the M in front of the angle, that means we don't write any like degrees, like we don't put the degree symbol. So here, since we're doing degrees, minutes, and seconds, we're not going to put the M in front. If you happen to put the M in front, I wouldn't take points off. All right, can I erase so I could go on to number 10? Anybody still copying this? Raise your hand. Okay, so let me erase so we could go on to number 10. Alright, I'm just going to rewrite this a little bit bigger. 61 degrees, 15 minutes, 40 degrees, 26 minutes. Alright, we have a little bit of a problem here. Can I take 26 away from 15? No. 26 is bigger than 15. And we're not dealing with negatives here. We don't have negative degrees or negative minutes or negative seconds. We don't deal with negatives. So I'm going to have to borrow. But be very careful. Now, this is minutes and this is degrees. They're different sort of measurements. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and I'm going to borrow from the degrees. So I'm going to borrow 1 degree. But I'm not going to add 1 to the 15. I'm going to add 1 degree to the 15, which is really equivalent to how many minutes? 60. So we're not adding 1. What are we adding? 60. Does everybody understand why I added 60? All right, so now we're going to have 60 degrees, 75 minutes, and we're going to subtract from that 40 degrees and 26 minutes. Now we can subtract. So we're going to get, we can borrow here, no problem. This is 15, this is 6. 15 minus 6 is 9. 6 minus 2 is 4. 60 minus 40 is 20. So we are 20 degrees and 49 minutes. Alrighty, we're going to stop here today. We're going to stop here today and we will finish up, you guys drop tomorrow, so we will finish up this lesson. What day will we finish up this lesson? Thursday? Yes, because you drop tomorrow. We will finish up this lesson on Thursday.